Well, we knew coming into this hockey game that the Leafs were going to have a very good chance of winning this game. Obviously, the way they've been playing lately, and really the way Detroit has been playing lately, home or away, doesn't matter. The Leafs should have won this game, and they did. But it wasn't even close. 6-0. The Leafs absolutely throttle the Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. I feel bad for the people who paid to watch that game. Red Wing fans at least. Leaf fans are probably jacked up. They traveled, they watched the Leafs crush, and they're probably having a great time tonight, so that's probably good news for them. Now, the Leafs have now won 3 straight games under Sheldon Keefe. A lot of you guys wanted me to kind of discuss, I saw a few comments in the last video about me discussing the Mike Babcock situation. We heard about Mitch Marner and what happened there. I think it's stupid. I think no doubt about it. I think Babcock, I don't know what the heck the guy's thinking, putting a 19-year-old kid on the spot like that and then throwing him under the bus in front of his teammates like that. I don't care if he's trying to send a message. I don't care. I don't even know really what he's doing it for. It just makes no sense. It was a stupid move. I don't like it. The fact that he didn't, you also look back at it. Jason Spezza signed a league minimum, a veteran minimum deal to come home to Toronto to play on a contending team, comes to Toronto months early before the season to get ready for the year, and then he sits him out in the first game of the year. That's sad. Mike Babcock is gone, people. Enjoy it. Sheldon Keefe is here. Clearly, the Leafs enjoy playing underneath this guy because they've won 3 straight games without Babcock here, with Keefe here. They just look more relaxed. They look like they're just playing like themselves. And it's a lot of fun to watch. Now, this game had a lot going on. I apologize in advance if I forget how exactly one of these goals went in, because there was a lot. 6 goals for the Leafs. And once again, like we said in the last 2 videos, you start on time, you win games. The Leafs in the last 2 games have scored the first goal or have had the better first period in both games. Therefore, they have won both games. And in this game, ideally they won 6-0, so they pretty much kicked rear end from minute 1 to the final minute 60. But in the first minute of this game, just over a minute, 1:04 in, what have I been talking about, guys? Before Babcock got fired, what have I been saying, and what have really anybody been saying probably? I'm assuming it wouldn't, not just me, but I was saying it for sure. Put the puck on the net, good things will happen. You try and make these perfect plays, these pretty plays, and if they work, great. If they don't, you look stupid. And the Leafs were having trouble scoring. Why? Because 1, they were playing some pretty good teams. Second of all, they're trying to be way too pretty. So how about you get off that, put the puck in the net, good things will happen. A minute 4 in, Travis Dermott at the point. Pump fakes 1 slapper, then puts it on. What happens? It deflects off the Detroit defenseman and into the back of the net. The Buds are in front 1-0. Dermott with the 2nd goal of the year. Mikheyev and Tavares grab assists. And the Buds are in front, like I said, 1-0. Now, just over a minute after that, Tyson Barrie, where does he get the puck? At the point. What does he decide to do with it? Does he try to throw the needle pass? No! He puts the puck on the net, some good screens in front of the net, and just like that, it's 2-0 Leafs. Oh, just over 2 minutes into the game. Gauthier and Timashov get assists, and the Buds are in front now 2-0. I get it. They're playing Detroit, and I know I'm going to see it everywhere. Well, they beat Detroit. Oh, now you're going to the Stanley Cup, right? No, you're playing a bad team. So you're supposed to beat the bad team really bad. And that's exactly what the Leafs did today. They beat Colorado on the road. They beat Arizona on the road. And they crushed Detroit on the road. They've won 3 straight road games, 3 games in a row. They're feeling great. That's all she wrote. The Leafs weren't done, though, in that first period. All right? Great passing at the point. Mikheyev, Tyson Barrie gets into the half boards to John Tavares, who has a little bit of room to skate. Has a nice little cut to the slot. And beats Jonathan Bernier. You heard the name correctly. Jonathan Bernier. Remember him? Jonathan Bernier used to be the goalie for the Leafs who made some sporadic great saves, but could not, and I mean could not, make a simple save to save his life. John Tavares' goal, that should have been saved. But yet later in the game he made a larceny, an insane save. That's the way Jonathan Bernier works, guys. And the Leafs have a 3-0 lead. Barrie and Mikheyev have assists on John Tavares' 7th goal of the year. And things are going great. 3-0 lead after the first period. Shots on goal 16-11 in favor of the Leafs in that first period. Oh, and the Leafs weren't even close. They weren't even close to being done. in the second period. I mean, can we talk about, everyone's going to yap it, William Nylander, overpaid. Do you want me to go through the list of players Nylander has more points than? And please tell me if he's overpaid at that point. Because it's ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, Claude Giroux, Sebastian Aho are a couple names that can sit out there. And people will be like, wow, he has more points than them. Yeah, he does. You know why? Because he's not a bad player. William Nylander, beautiful hand-eye coordination. I mean, Riley tries to center it to him. It goes off the stick of the Detroit defender, up in the air. Nylander kind of bats it to himself and then knocks it in. I mean, that's impressive as Nylander scores his 9th goal of the year. Again, overpaid apparently. Riley and Andreas Johnsson have assists in the play, and the Leafs are now up 4-0. Things are just going extremely well here for the Leafs. They're crushing them in every which way. Just over 2 minutes after that one. I mean, Andreas Johnsson, this is what we're talking about, guys. What have we talked about? We've talked about putting pucks in the net, right? That's one thing we've talked about. The other thing was being hard on the puck. And on this 5th goal, how does it happen? The puck's in the crease. You see guys diving into the net. You're up 4-0. Doesn't matter. They're still going after it. And somehow, Andreas Johnsson sitting on his rear end in the net, the puck is in also, and the Buds are in front 5-0 as Johnsson scores his 6th. Nylander and Riley grab assists, and the Buds, like I said, are up 5-0. Oh yeah, and just over 4 minutes after that, Jason Spezza with a nice little nifty pass to Andreas Johnsson, and once again, great hand-eye, knocks it out of midair, knocks it down to himself, and then buries it past Jonathan Bernier. What a goal by Andreas Johnsson. 2nd goal of the game. A power play goal. Spezza and Kapanen grab assists, and the Leafs are up 6-0 in the second period. They outshoot the Red Wings 26-5 in the second period. 26-5! That's insane. And then in the third period, no one scores. The Leafs still outshoot them 12-9. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, the Leafs outshot the Detroit Red Wings 54-25. I know people are saying, whoa, it's the Red Wings. You outshot them 54-25 on their home ice. You beat them 6-0 on their home ice. I know it's Detroit, but my goodness, they're an NHL team. And you just won 6-0 on the road. Amazing game from the Leafs. The puck pressure, incredible. The ability to move the puck, make tape-to-tape passes, remarkable. They look great. Now they've won 3 straight games. They're 12, 10, and 4 on the season. Now, if we're quickly going through the division and seeing what happened there, I'm not really worried about Boston anymore, people. They're gone. They're first place, and they're just flying. They beat Ottawa, a team who's been red hot right behind the Leafs. Well, regulation loss for Ottawa, so I guess if Leaf fans are thinking that way, that's positive. Tampa Bay, a team who's played a lot less games than the Leafs and are now past the Leafs with points, so that tells you the difference between those teams. They lost in regulation to St. Louis, so the Leafs are now above Tampa, still the same games, or I guess 4 games in hand for Tampa, but still, the Leafs got that jump up now. Great stuff there. And Buffalo lost in overtime. So you look at it, guys. And Florida lost in regulation to Washington today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leafs, I understand they've played a lot of games. But with the win today, they have jumped the Montreal Canadiens because Montreal has dropped 5 straight games, whereas the Leafs have won 3 straight. Florida has lost 3 straight. And I understand the games in hand, Leafs have 1 over Florida and 2 over Montreal. I guess Montreal has 2 more games in hand than the Leafs, and Florida has 1. But there's only 2 points separating those 3 teams. The Leafs are right back in this hunt. They're right there, people. I understand we were calling this team down and out, but now with Coach Babcock gone, you guys can see it. They're a totally different hockey team. Now, speaking of totally different hockey team, Tyson Barrie. Didn't he have like 7 assists in like the 20-odd games? And we're all like, man, who is this guy? He looks awful out there. In the 3 games that Sheldon Keefe has been the head coach, Tyson Barrie has 5 points in 3 games. You see what happens when you fire a stupid coach? I'm happy they got rid of him. Now that I'm hearing all this garbage that's coming out of him, I'm like, wow, you actually were a real pain. You were not a nice guy. You were actually You guys can put any word in there, and you guys can go with it. But I'll go with you with it, because that guy, I got no respect for Babcock anymore. I lost all of it. You know, I thought I had some for him, for all the awards that he's won and all the trophies and blah, blah, blah. But after what I heard, what he did to this team, no. That's not what we like to hear, people. And bringing in Sheldon Keefe was nothing but good. Andreas Johnson, 3-point night. Frederick Anderson with his first shutout since last year. I think it was November of 2018. It's been a long time for Freddie. Well-deserved. And a nice 25 save shutout. Not very much action, but got the job done. 25 saves for Freddie Anderson. Andreas Johnson, 3-point night. Barry, the 2-point night. Tavares with a 2-point night. William Bust Nylander, apparently, or overpaid Nylander, I guess. A 2-point night. Goal and assist and a +2 for Willie Nylander, putting his point total up to 21 points in 26 games, 9 goals and 12 assists. Yeah, okay, I'm still listening. Or is it 9? Yeah, 9 goals, 12 assists. Again, great player. Sorry. Okay, and Travis Dermott had a goal in the ball game. In the hockey game, Mikheyev had a couple assists. Riley had 2 assists. The big Freddie Goat had an assist. Timashov, Kapanen, and Spezza all have assists in the game, and Cody Ceci goes +3. The Leafs played great against a bad team. You go out there, you take care of business against a bad team on the road, you crush them, you enjoy it, you move on. And the big thing about a game like this is with these guys absolutely crushing Detroit. You know what that means, guys? In the third period, you're up 6-0. You can relax Matthews, you can relax big guys, and put out your, Frederick Gauthier, Timashov line, and throw and Nick Patan and guys like that. Because you could use them. How many minutes did those guys play today? Frederick Gauthier played almost 13 minutes. Timashov over 12. Spezza played 15. Where are we here? Engvall played, almost 13 minutes. Nick Patan played over 15 minutes. And guys, where's Matthews? Tavares only played under 17 minutes. Nylander played only 15 minutes. Riley played 20, which is lower than what we've been seeing from Morgan Riley. Kapanen played only 16. Matthews didn't even play 17 minutes. You didn't need him to. So that's really good to see for the Leafs in this one. Great win. I love what we saw today from this team. You want to continue to see it, build on it, and move on from it. The next game for our buds, they're still on the road, and they're in Buffalo. Home and home against the Buffalo Sabres. I love these because in Buffalo, it's always going to be taken over by Leaf fans, especially since Buffalo did what they usually do this year, have a great stretch and then suck because they had a great stretch and they were near the top of the division, top of the conference. Everyone's like, wow, Buffalo's finally putting it together. Haven't you learned? Buffalo does this. And then they fall apart. With their loss today, what are they, like 2-7 in their 2-8 in their last 10 or something like that? Buffalo Sabres were, like I said, at the top of the division at one point. They're now, 2 points back of the Leafs. They're 500. They're 2-6-2 in their last 10. They're awful. But if you're the Leafs, you got to find a way to win. And every game, this team's got to go out there and fight, claw, and beat the living snot out of them. Now, if you're the Leafs, and I got a question for you guys. This is my question for you. We have not seen Sheldon Keefe in a back-to-back situation. You're now going to see that. Okay? You got the home and home against Buffalo. Do you play Frederick Anderson on the road against Buffalo, or do you play him at home on the second night of the back-to-back against the Buffalo Sabres? I personally believe, it's my opinion, is that Freddie should play the second half of the back-to-back. And Hutchison or whoever the heck they want to call up and play that game, that goalie should play the first game. The reason I say that is because the team is going to be rested. They're not going to play tomorrow. They're going to be ready to go on Friday. That's what we're assuming. That's going to be the better of the two games. So you want to put out your lesser goalie when your team's going to be playing their best. If that's the case, the second night of the back-to-back might not be the greatest game for the Leafs. So you want your better goaltender in. That's Frederick Anderson. Now, will they do it? Will Sheldon Keefe continue with Babcock's ways to go first night? Even though I wouldn't be opposed to him doing that just because you're playing the same team twice. You're both back-to-backs. You're both playing the same team. You both got to travel at the same time. So it's not a big issue. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoy the game there this evening because the Raptors smushed the Knicks and the Leafs smushed the Red Wings. Great night for Toronto sports. So smack the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. everything towards this Leaf team, what you've been thinking of this team over the last few games. Do you think this team looks totally different? What are the ceilings for these guys? What are your thoughts on this Leaf team all around? And Twitter is down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Raptors edition on Friday, as well as the Leafs, as the Raptors are in Orlando taking on the Magic. The Raptors look for their 6th straight victory. Tough one, though. Down in Orlando, they are 6-3 at home, are the Magic. So it's going to be a tough one for the Raptors. Not sure if Ibaka is going to be back yet, but we're going to have to see. Like I said, on Friday, I think it's a 7 or 7:30 tip-off. Where are we here? 7 o'clock tip-off. They're in Orlando. And as for the Leafs, their next game, as we've talked about, is on Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a really weird start. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Leafs take on the Sabres. Frederick Anderson and Carter Hutton are the expected goaltenders, but we haven't seen Sheldon Keefe. He probably hasn't said anything, so we'll have to wait and see what he ends up deciding to do for the goaltending situation on Friday and Saturday. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.